Welcome to this week's BTO talk on generative AI. Welcome to this talk. My name is Michael Alf, calling from beautiful sunny Lisbon, and I'm here with my two partners. Over to you, Markus.
Hi, Michael. Yeah, Markus Kuiper here, professor for marketing at the National University of Singapore and also a co-founding partner of Beyond the Obvious. And we have big news today from ourselves and from the world. Rob.
Yeah, hi, Rob Thurner. I'm one of the partners at Beyond the Obvious, dialing in today from sunny Windsor here in the UK, working with Cambridge Judge Business School and traveling a lot, running workshops far and wide. So the big news, where do we start?
Yeah, I would say we start with, it was a huge week, and actually last night it made it even bigger in the world of AI and generative AI. Why? We want to share a little bit, and then we actually continue next week. The first one was this week, the largest global AI conference happened in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia with 450, not participants, speakers. 450 speakers, 150 sessions over 3 days on everything you can imagine with regards to AI and generative AI. It was a massive event. And we had the pleasure to actually support and run the virtual part of the event. And I share just kind of one slide here. This is kind of a beautiful 3D platform which really hosts a lot of people and gives this immersion character even if you are not on site. It's always better to be on site, of course, but if you can't, then this is a great experience. You see here the main auditorium, the plenary. This is actually how it looked in real life as well, very similar. And you see here one of the speakers at the moment presenting. Markus, Rob, I think you attended some of the sessions as well. What's your kind of takeaway from it?
Look, it was absolutely amazing. The metaverse experience made you feel like you are in the plenary. You could actually choose different rooms and go there. I attended a couple of sessions and it was very nicely done. The video shooting and the whole setup was very professional. Super quality in everything, but also the quality of the speakers was really good. I attended one session about GenAI in universities and tertiary education, and they had maybe a panel of 6 people there, and they really talked about the future, which will probably be part of our future sessions when we share some of the insights from this as well. Rob, did you have a chance to go there?
Yeah, I certainly did. 3 days. I wish I could have been tuned in for all of it, but there were some truly phenomenal speakers there. They made 72 global announcements. There were partnerships. We saw that the anchor was Sedaya, which is the Saudi data and AI organization with MBS as their patron, that's pulled together all the ministries internally and a really A-list group of guest speakers. We had Apple, we had Google, we had Microsoft, we had Accenture. Phenomenal presentations and a real sense of energy and commitment. They really see themselves as the future globally of AI, exporting their expertise to countries around the world. I was particularly struck by Aramco. They gave a great presentation explaining how using MetaBrain, the concept they've developed, they were giving in the fingertips of every employee 90 years worth of experience for every part of their organization, and explained how the different ways GenAI is going to be used across maintenance and safety, around customer experience, around forecasting, all aspects brought into the hands of their employees. We heard similar growth opportunities, and Microsoft setting up their academy in Riyadh. They're absolutely on fire, and it was so exciting to watch this. And Michael, great job pulling together the virtual interface there.
Yeah, I wonder. I couldn't agree more. It's fascinating to see this commitment, of this kingdom and the region in becoming a leader, a global leader in this space. They know it's so important, it's so relevant. one other example I want to give is kind of they decided to basically set up AI offices in every single ministry. Yeah, so there were quite a few actually ministers, from transport and logistics where we're working to education. All the ministers were there presenting their perspectives, what they are doing, what they are pushing forward. And they are doing these AI offices, which then work together to really drive that, because it's a massive digital transformation. I think the other key takeaway is, it's still a challenge. Yeah, we're still early in regards to generative AI, and there's a lot of expertise now which has built up, which we always say. At the same time, there's still a huge, vast area of people, individuals, and work to be done, which hasn't been covered yet. So I think it's a massive, massive transformation. I think it's almost worth this summit. Maybe we cover that in one of our upcoming webinars. What do you think?
Yeah,
Absolutely. I think there are so many. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was saying one of the key themes that came across all the presentations was education and the different ways that employees, ministers, and all the way down in the departments need to get to a base level of understanding so they can realize Gen AI's full potential. And I think it would be a great idea to focus more on the content and how that could be developed. So Marcus, sorry, I cut you off.
No, you didn't. Look, I think we should address a couple of these topics over the next couple of weeks and months. The content of this, Michael, I think you would agree, because you saw every session there, will lead into the next years to come. We are not talking about the next few months. And one thing which came through very, very strongly, it's not about an if, it's not about what, it is when in certain areas, but the time is the clock is moving much faster.
Which actually is the perfect segue, Marcus. Faster.
I just wanted to ask you, what's happening? What happened? Then you mentioned then there was this big boom last night. What happened?
Last night, have you heard about strawberry? Yes, of course you know what a strawberry is. Yeah. What is a strawberry? What is a strawberry?
Wimbledon, Rob. Wimbledon.
Yeah, it gets cream and champagne on it. Yeah.
Sounds great. What is it in the context of OpenAI? Well, that was the pseudo name of the new model. The strawberry is gone. The model is here. Earlier than expected. It's a reasoning model. What does it mean? Reasoning means the model takes a lot more time to come up with high quality answers. And it really does. It was only launched yesterday night, and only for the people who are paying the OpenAI for the moment. That's why we're always saying, well, this is definitely worth it, because you have so much more opportunity and you can explore that. I played a little bit around this morning before the call, and it's pretty remarkable. So in creating code, in creating actually quality, let's say, articles, structures, concepts, and ideas. And one of the things I read, let me just check that. So it's a reasoning model. It's obviously more expensive and things like that, but it's massively outperforming previous models. And to give you an example, on the International Mathematics Olympiad qualifier, it solved 83% of problems, while GPT-4o, which is kind of the current best model, only managed 13%.
13, 1-3.
1-3 to 8-3. How is that? How is that for a difference? So we'll cover that next, probably in the next call, and maybe even another webinar. But this is massive kind of movement, and it happened earlier than most people expected. So it was expected, I think, in 4 to 8 weeks or something like that. This shows you again the speed of change. And coming back to the conference, yes, some talked about there is a hype. And yes, there is some hype, of course.
Sure.
At the same time, the fact is generative AI is impacting every single role and almost every single task in every company, in every industry. So it is kind of, just from the scale, is huge. So there's some hype in terms of what is possible and how easy it is. It's a lot harder to do it. And I think that's the other key message. Transformation is hard. It remains hard.
So that reminds me of a quote yesterday in the panel about Gen AI and the future of education. One of the speakers mentioned it's probably the worst time for a PhD candidate right now. And what you just mentioned is that with this, how do you call it? What is O1 called?
A reasoning model.
Reasoning model, which means a PhD candidate who has been spending the last 2 years maybe on researching something, and you enter it into a reasoning model. Now he will get a similar answer within a couple of seconds, right?
Yes. A huge challenge. I think something we don't, and it was addressed, and discussed in the summit a lot. It's something we have no idea. We have simply no idea how the future is going to look like, because these tools have skills and capabilities which are unique, which haven't been there before. And so we don't know the impact on kind of the next generation, on how we learn, how we actually grow, how we grow experience. All that is like, I mean, there's value in doing research. So if you take that away, okay, so what's then the next value you're doing? We have no idea where we're heading. And that's why it's so exciting. And that's why we are so passionate, and we want to help companies, which brings me to the next topic.
Absolutely. I think, Rob, the question is, how do companies catch up, and what is one of the best ways to spread the knowledge and the wisdom in companies? What do you think?
Well, the traditional way is let's get for more nuanced and more difficult concepts, we need to bring an expert in and explain how it works, brief them, put together a workshop, get our best people in the room. And that goes so far. But when you're looking to do this at scale, and you're looking to engage particularly a younger audience and a more discerning older audience, you need to engage them. Death by PowerPoint is long gone. And the excitement that we can get by creating highly interactive, fun games and bringing that gamification into the learning experience consistently is proven to be the way to go. And we've got some very exciting news here. I must say, the workshops I've run, always a highlight is the simulation, and bringing a simulation in. The competitive element that's not straightforward and it's not linear, there's more complexity around this, is a great way to engage. Marcus, have we got something under the bonnet here which is bursting to get out right now?
Absolutely. It's like rattling the cage, right? So without any further introduction, why don't you take a look, and we'll talk about that in a moment.
Hello, I am Alex, CEO of Spin, and I'm thrilled to invite you to an exciting experience that will transform how you think and lead in the Gen AI era. Get ready to dive into our Gen AI Leadership Simulation workshop, where this is not just another training session, but an interactive, hands-on journey where you will play a crucial role in shaping the future of Gen AI for Spin. As part of the management team at our latest creation, Spin, you will tackle real-world scenarios and be tasked to make strategic choices that will shape our company's success. You will work in teams, learn by doing, and experience the thrill of driving innovation. This workshop is designed to be interactive and engaging, where you will explore the latest in Gen AI, collaborate with your peers, and navigate challenges that will test your skills and creativity. Join us for this exciting journey where you'll grow, learn, and lead. Be prepared to roll up your sleeves, make crucial decisions, and have a blast while doing it. I can't wait to see you at the workshop. Let's embark on this adventure together and make a difference with Spin.
Well,
Hello.
Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the official launch of our new simulation. Yep, the three of us have been working together with our colleague in Singapore who is building it, and I'm sure you will meet him one day as well. So this is a simulation which will allow anyone in an organization to get their heads around about what is Gen AI and how can I roll it out in the organization. Yes, you will ask, has this been developed with Gen AI? Of course it has been. The video has been created with Gen AI, and you saw the beta version of it. So it's basically the pre-launch event, which we just do here. Rob, what do you think?
I think it's a fantastic way of exciting and engaging. And when you look at the journey that we take the groups on, we'll have 12 separate scenarios, each of them tackling a key issue. The nuances there between the answers, some of them seem pretty obvious, but if you answer an A, there's a trade-off in another area, and it's not really that straightforward. So I think the really exciting bit here is how we unpack this, explain the conundrum, explain the challenge, and then the debrief that follows. And we'll find, I'm sure, as we go through this, that there are some differences of opinion. That's where the real value comes, and then the learnings from each of those help different teams understand where they're coming from as they're looking at risk and mitigation of risk, as we look at areas of how do we extract the greatest value from our data, how do we build the best customer experiences. The differences between the teams and the team performances are, I think, where we're going to see the greatest value created here.
So, Michael, how would you embed it? What do you think? In any seminar, or how does it work?
Yeah, look, first of all, I think I'm really excited and to see and to see that come to fruition. The work we put in, there's a lot of work obviously going in despite GenAI, and we always say it's the combination of both. It's not like, well, give me this simulation. There's a lot of work going in, making it really high quality, so it's it's ready, for executive education. And if that's for you, if that's for your company, reach out to us. So it's now live. To your question, Marcus, there's a couple of ways to do it. What we recommend is embedding that into a workshop. So, for example, a one-day workshop, or even a little bit less, depending on kind of how much focus and how much time you have. For executive teams, for example, it might be only 4 or 5 hours, and then you embed that as one component, because you need some pre-information, some knowledge, if you like, so which will help you. And then most importantly, you need to debrief. You need to kind of really moderate the discussion between the participants, their experiences, their questions, their perspectives, their views. So all of that is what makes it so valuable. So it's an accelerator for that. It's a fun accelerator, leading really into, okay, now we have meaningful discussions on the back of that simulation. So this is kind of the best way to integrate that. We are working on a scenario where you can do that pretty much standalone as well with a partner. So that is an option, which obviously then you have to do the debrief for yourself. We recommend embedding that into a workshop. Can be 1 day, can be also kind of a 2 day or 3 days, depending on how deep you want to go.
Absolutely. So how would you do this? It's not a simulation you want to play alone, because it's a team simulation. It's online. You need simply one computer or laptop, and then you play as a team, but you can also play it alone. How long does it take? It takes up to 90 minutes, but you can also, as Michael said, with a lot of debrief and discussion, it can take up to 3 hours if you like half a day, for example. What does it do for you? Well, after this, you will know a lot about GenAI, learned in a very, very entertainment and edutainment way. You will be able to get started. You will be much more knowledgeable about generative AI, including ethics and compliance. We include that in one of the scenarios where you have to answer questions, and then you can see your track over your performance and how you compare with other teams. All of that will be available very, very soon. If you're interested, feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah, and furthermore, Rob, question for you. So, we had a good discussion yesterday ahead of that launch. Talk about some of the ideas where we see that then going afterwards. This is the foundational simulation, which is super important still for most people. I'd say 80 to 90% still. Still need this foundational level. But what's next to expect?
Well, I think, as with anything, we're going to learn a lot from the feedback we get from the first version out there. But what I'm seeing are very obvious extensions from having the foundation knowledge to then building into specific scenarios, which we can tailor by industry. So we're doing a lot of work in financial services, in oil and gas. I can see that there could be in legal services, a bespoke program where the content and the questions immediately align with the business challenges of those different sectors. And of course, what risk and compliance means in one sector means something very different, and the context will be very varied. So I think there's a sector-based variable there. We can look at specific challenges that people from multiple sectors are facing around procurement, around human resource allocation, around sales and marketing. You know, each of these have its own specific challenges, and we can reconfigure the whole simulation there. And last, of course, is a geographic one, going back to where we were just a little while ago. Fascinating at this AI conference to see the emergence of an Arabic language LLM, ALAM, which was launched yesterday at this event. And seeing in the GCC, we could focus on specific issues that relate to regions. So I think there you go. We've got an industry, a job function, and then a geographic variable there. And we're very keen to get feedback, and we can spin up these different versions based on the feedback we get.
That's why it's called Spin. So we call the simulation Maverick, GenAI Maverick, and the company you would run in the simulation is called Spin. All right, I think that's what we have for today, gentlemen. Anything else? Any latest news before we go?
I think that's it.
Exactly. I think we got more next week. Go back to 01. I think there's some really exciting things to unpack there. But it's been great spending your time. Thanks for spending your time with us just now, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks, guys, for your input as always.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.